What's up, YouTube? Slim here, Team Symmetry, here to do Ask Slim episode 5. I honestly cannot believe we're already on episode 5. I honestly cannot thank you guys enough, for your continued, contributions, with your questions, with your support, everything. And I'm really, excited that, this segment, this whole Ask Slim segment has really, taken off. I know we've already gotten to an episode 5 because I was just, going out on a limb trying this, and I know a lot of channels try this out. And, it either works really nicely or it doesn't. And I'm really happy that mine has been successful so far and that you guys really like to know my opinion, not only on this game, but on some, some real world stuff. And I just really, appreciate it. And I hope that my answers on that stuff has, helped you in the long run, game wise, life wise, whatever it is, since this is for the community, by the community. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna get into these real quick. My first question I actually had not answered. I had forgotten about it, and I felt really bad, but I'm glad to answer it now. Is what do I think about X-Sabers coming back? A lot of people may not know, but X-Sabers are slowly, coming back into the meta. People are playing them a lot more, and I'm seeing a lot of them, at locals and stuff. And I guess the reason would be, their budget. They're pretty budget with, Dark Soul being reprinted. Ember's Blade got reprinted. I think every X-Saber card has been reprinted, or all the main ones that are ran, aside from Hunley. And yeah, I think it's just Hunley that was the only one that wasn't reprinted. But the deck is, really cool. I mean, I personally have never actually played with it. I've only played, against it and seen it in action. And my teammate Randall, shout out to you, Randall, has built X-Sabers and it's really good. I've played against it, with Dark World with plants. And, it does give a really, pretty viable matchup. It just depends when, you know, I guess it depends on the hand. I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about X-Sabers to really understand, I guess, like how like the different ways it plays. I know that Dark Soul is your main objective. Have Dark Soul get destroyed. Search with it, and even though they eroded it, they changed it so you can't loop it with like Gotems and stuff like that. It's still a playable deck, and people who are really good X-Saber players, found, like a new way to play it. And, it's pretty effective because it has been doing pretty well. If you look here on YouTube, you can find, top 8, top 16, you can find regional decks of their X-Sabers. And, my honest thoughts is that, the deck has potential, and I don't know if it'll be, as strong as, of course, right now it's not going to be as strong as Dino Rabbit or Plants, but it definitely has potential, and I think depending on how the list comes out in March, we'll see if X-Sabers can bring it back to the top, and that's honestly my opinion on the deck. Like I said, I don't know anything, I don't really know enough about it, so it's like, please don't, try to give me an X-Saber deck. It would be a catastrophe, be a malevolent catastrophe, because it would honestly, everything would just like blow up in my face. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. But I would like if someone would want to send me, a really good X-Saber deck for me to look at, possibly profile, for the channel or anything, and your thoughts on the deck. I'd love, to hear from it. So, you can do a video response. You can leave a comment below with a link. Just let me know. And yeah, that's my answer to that question. If X-Sabers have the potential to come back, I'm all for it. So we'll see what happens when the list comes out, or even now for the rest of the format. So the next question, and I like this question. This question is interesting. Have I ever been between a rock and a hard place? Now, a lot of people might not know what that means. People may think literally, have I been between, like a rock and I guess a hard place. Um, what this means is, have I ever been, in a situation where I had to make a decision, and regardless, it was going to have like an impact, like on my life or someone else's life? And the answer is yes. Oh God, yes, 100 million% yes. A lot of people who know me personally know that my life is crazy, you guys. Like, I have an amazing life, crazy lifestyle, everything, and yeah, I've been in a lot of situations actually, like in the last couple of months, where I've been in, tough situations, involving, people, and I guess, like, I don't want to get too personal with you guys, but I guess, like, the best way I can describe it is that you have to make decisions where at the end, you may lose a friend, or you may lose someone important to you, like in your life, depending on, their decisions, your decisions, and when you're backed into a corner like that, like it says, between a rock and a hard place, it's like, what do you do? And my best advice to anyone who's ever in a hard situation would be, look at it like you look at this game. The way I look at it is, look at what's on the board, or look at all the facts, I guess is the best way to say it. Look at all the facts. And think long term. I know a lot of people have the philosophy, I have it too, to live in the moment. I do it all the time. And, when you're stuck in a tough situation, you might act too hastily and you might, make a decision that you regret. I've done it a million times. I know a lot of people have done it. And you have to think long term. You have to think, somewhere down the road of life, is, this decision going to affect, my future, or is it going to, am I going to screw up in the moment and then have it screw up my future? And my honest advice to anyone who's in a tough situation is, look at the facts like you look at what's on the board when you're playing. When you're playing, look for your best decision, your best move, I guess is the only way I can like correlate it to the game. But you're playing life. Life's a big game, you guys. Everyone knows that life is a game, and you're either going to play to win or you're going to play to lose, just like, you play this game. And, when you're stuck in a tough situation, like when you're stuck in, a tough matchup, you might not win, but at least, give it a fighting try. Don't scoop to life. Don't scoop instantly in the game when you could possibly play out of it. And I guess like the only thing I can say is, if you're in a tough situation, be smart and, use your head. Like, think long term, think, who's there for me, who's not, and, at that point you'll know the right answer. And I guess that's my honest answer. That's actually a really, a great question to answer, and, it's also a tough question to answer because we get stuck in hard places like every day. So it just depends on you as a person to figure out your best decision in life. And no one can make that decision for you. You can't let people make decisions for you. You have to make them yourself, or else in the long run, it's not going to benefit you at all. So I hope that answers that question. Next question is game related, thank God. Next question is my opinion on Morphtronics. Morphtronics, to me, are just a really fun deck to play. They're not what I would call extremely competitive. They're a really fun deck. They have a lot of, like different effects, the cell phone, the iPod, like the boombox, all these crazy, gizmos that, work together. They synchro, they make power tool, they do all these, crazy, I guess, shenanigans. And, my opinion on them is they're just a really fun deck. They're a deck that people can play at like a locals or something. I don't know how competitive they'd be at a regionals, but they're definitely a fun deck. And I think that it's cool to have decks like that because like when you get bored of the format, or get bored of playing the same deck over and over again, I do all the time, and a lot of my teammates, a lot of other players get bored of it. Morphtronics is one of those decks that you can just pick up and you can have fun with. And I'm debating and deciding whether I want to make it like a new segment on here where like fun decks, I guess like fun decks or something along those terms, like decks you can play that are they're budget, they're fun, and it's something you can play just so you don't get bored in the meta like everyone else does, because everyone gets bored in the meta at one point or another. And it's nice to have decks like Morphtronics to pick up like when you want to play something fun. I think that's like the best part about a deck like this, is that you pick them up and they're fun and they do have potential to win. Just like I think any deck has potential to win based on the players. So that's my honest opinion on Morphtronics. If anyone wants to link me a really good Morphtronics deck profile, I'd love to see it, because I love innovation, and I love people that build decks for fun and try to bring them to the top. I think that's extremely respectable in this game. And then the second part of this question is, what deck would I try that isn't my style? Um, I honestly don't know what my playstyle is like. A lot of people say they know what my playstyle is like, and maybe they're right. They say Dark World is like my playstyle. They say Malefic is my playstyle. Gravekeeper is my playstyle, and I guess that's true since those are the decks I played. Six Samurai. Those are the decks I played the most, and I still am trying to decide, what my playstyle is. But if I was to pick up a deck just out of the blue that I would say isn't my style, I would probably pick up probably Junk Doppel. My teammate Curtis built Junk Doppel, and I mean, I don't know anything really about the deck. There's so many things you can do turn one. It's just amazing, and it looks like a lot of fun. So that would probably be the deck I would pick up, just to see. I want to make Quasar. Like honestly, I just love to make Quasar. So that's probably the deck I'd pick up. Aside from making Quasar, I'd pick it up because it looks like a lot of fun, and I like having options. I like a deck that has like a million options, and it isn't just one. It isn't like a one-way street. So that's my honest answer to that question. Next question is my thoughts on the deck Hero Gate. I really like that deck. It's not what I'd call extremely competitive, but it is a really cool deck. The fact that you can, play Fusion Gate and you can fusion, yeah, you can fusion from your hand, field or whatever it is, and that you can spam out all these hero fusions in like one turn. You can almost OTK in like one turn, or maybe you can. I haven't, played with the deck enough to know. If you can or not, but Gate Heroes looks like a lot of fun, and I think to any hero player who puts their heart and their skill into the deck can really make it work. In my opinion, like on any deck, is it's the player. The player will make the deck their own and will make it really work for them or not. So that's my thoughts on Hero Gate. Is that definitely try it, definitely play it. Heroes are just great. So if you have fun with heroes, why not try Gate? It's a great deck. Next question, my thoughts on Penguin Soldier and Summon Limit as like side deck cards against like big decks this format like Dino Rabbit and uh, like Dino Rabbit and Plants. I like Penguin Soldier. I've always liked Penguin Soldier. A little guy flips, bounces 2 cards. Really good. Summon Limit is cool because Summon Limit, limits, of course, the summon of, multiple monsters. Really good against Plants when they try to go off, and just really good, like against Rabbit and just other decks like that. So I think both of these cards are both viable options for people's side decks. Just try them out like any other side deck, see if they work for you or not, and like best of luck when it comes to siding. And then last question in this little segment from this one person is my top 3 side deck cards for Rabbit and top 3 side deck cards for Plants. For Plants, it's pretty easy. I like to side D-Prison to remove stuff, Reaper because it's a wall, and Debunk for Tengu when it hits graveyard. For Glow Up Bulb, Spore, all those things. Debunk, just really works well in my matches at regionals. It really helped me win my plant against Plants. And against Dino Rabbit, definitely Spirit Reaper comes to mind. I didn't play against Dino Rabbit, so it was really sad. I prepared for Dino Rabbit, and there was kind of it was kind of no point, and I felt bad, but what are you gonna do? But I guess like my 3 favorite side deck cards against Rabbit would be Reaper, um, I guess Deep Prison again, because Deep Prison remove stuff as long as it's not Lagia. Remove the Dolka, just do stuff like that. And I guess like the last card would probably be Thunder King Ryo. I don't have Thunder King on me right now, but Thunder King Ryo just in both of those decks because it hurts both of those decks because Thunder King can negate a special, Thunder King can do a lot of stuff. So definitely those would be my favorite cards to side against Plants and Dino Rabbit. Next question is do I have plans, to, record duels with my team? The answer is definitely yes. I'm in the process of getting a new camera. I'm going to have a new camera for Long Beach, so I'm just looking for a really good camcorder. If anyone knows a good, decent priced one, if you want to link it below, if you want to PM me, uh, I'd love for someone to do that just so that I can find a really good, just like a mini one that I can just go around and be kind of like a little journalist, whatever you want to call it, and just record like a lot of the big name YouTubers do, just so that I can get a lot of footage at Long Beach and get a lot of footage at the upcoming events because I don't have a camera right now. So aside from when my teammates can record and send me the coverage, I honestly can't do anything at this time. But I would love to get a new camera, and I do have plans to get a new camera before Long Beach. So if anyone knows anything, please PM me. I would love to know, and I definitely have plans to record games against me against my team and them just playing each other in general. So I hope that answers that question. This next question came from my teammates Adrian and Carl. They want to know, everyone knows they pushed Order to Chaos ahead 1 month. The sneak preview is actually this weekend. Will it affect the ban list? The answer is probably yes. Tour Bus will be coming out, and a lot of people are wondering, with all these new cards that are coming out, people are thinking, when the list comes out, will they put BLS back? Will they keep BLS? Will they bring back Chaos Emperor Dragon? And there's a lot of talk about them possibly bringing it back. Everyone has their rumors, everyone has their facts, and it just depends on what I guess what Konami does. I mean, I think it's going to have an effect on the list. I don't know how exactly, but I think it will add a couple things to the ban list, take away a couple things, and make for either a really good or really shitty meta again. So we'll see what happens, but that's my honest answer. I know something's up because they would not move a pack ahead a whole month if there wasn't an ulterior motive. So my answer is definitely yes. Next question is worst trade I've ever done. So the worst trade I've ever done is when I was a little kid. I was like in fifth or sixth grade. This is like when I had just started, around the time I had just started, starting to go to these little like Toys R Us tournaments. And I remember I traded a stack of hollows, probably that high, for Jinzo because I wanted Jinzo. Jinzo was the coolest card ever and was my favorite card back when I was a little kid. And I still actually have that Jinzo put away. The original Pharaoh's Servant, 000 Jinzo. And do I regret it? Absolutely not. Was it the worst trade ever? Yes, because I probably traded away way more than its value. But I was a little kid. I wanted Jinzo and I didn't care. I wanted Jinzo and I got it. When I got to play it and they couldn't use traps, it was the best feeling ever. So in a sense, it was the worst trade and the best trade ever for a kid in like fifth, sixth grade, getting one of your favorite cards no matter what the consequence. And do I look at it now and I still have that Jinzo, and those other cards don't do shit now, and it's just awesome because Jinzo can be played in Frog Monarch. So it was amazing, even though it was my worst trade ever, I guess you could say. And my last question for Ask Slim episode 5: what card, if taken off the ban list, would ruin the game? I'd probably have to say it's a hard choice between Painful Choice and Crush Card Virus. I'd say either or, and the reason being, if if Crush Card came back, it's too splashable. With Tour Guide, Sangan, Crow, it's way too splashable. It would just like wreck this game. And Painful Choice came back. You can do Exodia, you can do Dark World. Dark World could like beast with that card because the way Painful Choice reads is discard. So do you discard at the end phase, do all these crazy shenanigans? And then I guess like the last, I have to give three. If Chaos Emperor Dragon came back, people think BLS is bad. The Dragon's way worse. You get raped by that card, like literally. So those would be the three cards, not just one. The three cards I think if they ever came back could possibly ruin the game for us. So that's my honest answer, you guys. Guys, thank you guys so much. Hopefully it'll be in episode 6. Once again, oh god, it's almost 17 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. I get going and it just happens. But that's all I got to say, you guys. Thank you for your questions. Leave more questions below if you want to see more Ask Slim segments. That's all I got to say, you guys. Have a great day and thank you for watching.